Hey YouTube, how's it going? Buster here. Getting motorbike screaming down the street there. So yeah, this is the bass I was talking about in my last video that I was waiting to pick up in the Ibanez Attack video. So this is a 2007 vintage modified precision bass TB, and TB stands for Telecaster bass. As we know, it's not a Telecaster shaped body. What I think is why they call it the TB is because of the headstock. Because the original P-bass was the slab body P-bass single coil, and then they changed it to this one. So because they changed the headstock, they kept the headstock of the 50s one. I think this is why it's called the Telecaster bass. But as we know, I've got a Telecaster bass. So this has got the same Fender wide range pickup in it as the Telecaster bass. Solid maple neck, one piece. It's got the two part, it's got the two saddle bridge, volume, tone. I've fitted a selector switch, same as the Telecaster bass, where it goes from humbucker to single coil. I was looking, when I knew I was getting this, I obviously looked at videos and stuff on YouTube. The guy who's modded he's done more mods than what I have. I've only just fitted a switch. He's got loads of switches in it. But he keeps referring to this as a mudbucker. This isn't a mudbucker. I hate to tell him this, but it's not a mudbucker. A mudbucker is out of Gibson. So the one that you get in the EBO, EB3, Rivola, the big sidewinder pickup, that's a mudbucker. So this isn't a mudbucker. As if you've watched the other Telecaster bass, it's got two poles here, two poles here. The other two poles are underneath the cover. So if you wanted the poles closer to the strings, you would turn it out. With the ones on the other side, you would turn them in. That's it. Slab body. It's not got the same body as the original 50, because the original 50s bass, P-bass, was a proper slab body, didn't have any contour cuts here. Pretty much the same as a Telecaster bass, guitar, sorry. This is slightly modified. It's got a wee kind of comfort cut here. The other 50 style bass I've got is a CV50, which is a classic vibe. It's got a proper contour body, so it's got this style of P-bass body, but with a single coil on it, and it looks like the 50s bass. The neck on this isn't the same as the other Telecaster bass, the proper Telecaster shaped bass, or the CV, or the jazz bass vintage modified. They've all got proper finished necks, the kind of vintage colour, stained or roasted maple look about them. This is more like a satin finish. You do get some square basses that have got the kind of wood feel necks. It's not like that. It has got a finish, but more a kind of satin finish. People prefer that finish, I think, rather than the fully finished ones. As I said, solid maple neck, Fender wide range pickup, humbucker. The jack's here. It's not got a Telecaster style jack. Like, put this down just now to show you. So it's not got the proper Telecaster style jack like that, which the CV50's got, and this is obviously the Telecaster shape bass, same pickup. When I originally bought that, I was saying to Bad Malco that I didn't see the point in me buying one of these. But I later found out, because I didn't do too much research on that. I did, but I didn't look at the scale. I recently found out the Telecaster shape bass is a 32 inch scale. This is a 34. But the only difference is the neck's the same size as this. It's where the bridge and saddle is. They've moved it up an inch on the Telecaster body. That's the only difference. So when you play that, it feels like a full size bass, but it is actually a 32 inch scale, because it feels nothing like the Jaguar. I've got a Jaguar short scale which is 32 inch, feels nothing like that. that you can tell is small. Then you've got obviously the mini that I've got, that's even small. I had to do a basic setup on this. Strings are pretty much brand new when I got it. I've not changed the strings. Actually, I bought 2 brand new packets of Rotor Sounds, but I'm not going to need them. I bought a packet for the Attack. The strings on that are pretty new. The strings on this are pretty new. Don't know what kind they are, but I actually kind of like them. So needed the neck adjusted. It hadn't been even touched, so it was slack. So I had to tighten that up. I had to put a shim in it because I don't know what happened, but you could tell when I took the neck off. You could tell there was a shim in it, and somebody had the neck off and the shim went missing. Because you could see the indent where the shim should be. So I've put another shim in it. I've put the selector switch in it the same as the Telecaster shape base. So humbucker and it's single coil. But it is a beast of a bass. So I was hoping that if I put the split switch in it, that it would sound similar to the single coil P bass, but it doesn't. It's a kind of, because you do get the single coil thing when you stand next to the amp, you'll get a kind of wee bit of feedback. You don't get that with this. So it's like having a humbucker but single coil, if you know what I'm saying. Technical term, don't ever call it. Wee bit of messing about with this to try and get this switch fitted. Every time I went to put the scratch plate back on, it was working. It would do something and knock the wire off or do something, so I ended up having to do a wee bit of messing about. But it's mint condition. I think the guy bought it and just put it in it was dusty. Put new strings on it, or he changed the strings recently. Never done adjustments and stuff, and then just left it sit. So it's pretty much brand new. So I got this for the same price as I got the Telecaster shape bass. So I got a good deal on it. No, cheaper than what you would find them, but it's still quite expensive for a bass, like. But I got it for a good price. I gave the guy a good price for it. So I just made him an offer. I seen it when I picked up the Attack. I said I'd give you that for it, and he went aye, no problem. So I've got it now. Nice bass though. Yeah. So I'll let you hear it. So I'm playing through the Ultra Bass BX 4500H, through the 1x15, then through the 4x12. So tone on, volume all the way up. Humbucker mode first. So tone all the way off, humbucker mode. Messed that up there. Tone all the way back on, single coil mode now. Tone all the way off, single coil mode. So it's really nice bass. Love it. Actually love it. I love it. The guy I bought it off, he's selling quite a few basses. He's got another vintage modified jazz bass. If I didn't have that one, I would probably have bought it off him because it's white and it's nice and it would go nice with my P bass. But I don't see the point of having another vintage modified jazz bass, because I like the jazz bass, but I'm very a kind of P bass fan, because a lot of the stuff that I like playing is all Green Day, and so I played on the P bass. That's why I fitted this switch, because I was hoping but it was going to kind of give me the sound, the kind of Mike Dump sound. I can never say his second name right. Mike PB, the bass player for Green Day, but it doesn't. So I know if Mike Dump, whatever his name is, you really think I was a Green Day fan for all the years as well. I can't remember. I can never pronounce his second name right. So if one of his basses come up, I think I might have to buy it. But all his bass is a P bass, split pickup, in one of these bodies. That's all his P bass is. It's not as if it's a totally different bass. It is just one of them, but it looks like one of the CV50s with a P bass pickup in it. But I think I would have to buy one. So yeah, definitely love this bass. So yeah, this is my new addition to my vintage modified stuff. So what I might do next video is I'll dig out all of my squires, and I'll do a video next week of all the squires that I've got, and that's if I don't back up another bass by then, because if something else comes up, I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basses still to sell that I don't play. I've got the Jackson Minion up for sale now. I've got my 70s P bass up for sale, not the vintage modified one, the kind of no name one. Cobra up for sale, LTD up for sale. I've got the Billy Sheen one up for sale, so I've still got that next week. That'll be added into the video. And then I've got they've got a Japanese 1980s jazz bass up for sale. So yeah, so that's it. Squier, vintage modified, precision bass, TB, so Telecaster bass. But as you know, I've actually got a proper Telecaster bass. So yeah, I think that's why they call this the Telecaster bass. It's not because of the body. I think it's the headstock. That's what I would guess anyway. Is to distinguish the two of them between each other. That's a word. It's to tell them apart. So that's the precision bass. This is the Telecaster bass because of the headstock. So yeah, really nice bass. It says no fretware, no damage, no dings, no scratches. Only my second string through body. So yeah, hope you like it. So I'll see you next week. Stay safe, carry on.